Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffrey Bershoff from Avanti Destinations, and welcome to Avanti's Taiwan. I'm here in Portland, Oregon, and we've got Yalun from the Taiwan Tourist Bureau down in California, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we're going to get started here, and just want to quickly go over all these wonderful images you see here. Up at the top left is the Thousand Lakes area, and then on the right side, we have two different images of Taipei. We'll talk a little bit more about Taipei a little later on here, but as you can see, lots to see and do there. And then on the bottom left-hand corner is Sun Moon Lake, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on as well. For those of you who aren't familiar with Avanti Destinations, we're going to quickly go through, or that familiar, we're going to quickly go through just kind of a little bit of information. This is a picture, a wonderful image on the front of our brochure. They are out. You can order them online at avantidestinations.com. We have come out with 7 new destinations for 2017-2018, and Taiwan is one of them, which is why we had this wonderful opportunity to work with Yalun and her team and to share with you some of their major themes and all the great things that your clients can do while traveling to Taiwan. But as you can see, we've got a robust program for all of Asia. And we are an FIT tour operator, Avanti Destinations. We specialize in independent travel. You'll see, not a lot here as far as accommodations that we're providing in Taiwan, but we'll definitely cover some of the unique travel options. And of course, our travel consultants are available 6:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday Pacific time to help you connect all the dots and make sure that you have a well-planned vacation for your clients. And then, of course, while your clients are traveling, we've got our local partners on the ground to assist them wherever they go. And, of course, we interact with them on a daily basis as we're getting all the planning together and getting those itineraries so they're seamless. Now, we are a one-stop travel source. As an FIT tour operator, we're including air. We have contracted air, and we'll get to our contracts that cover Asia here in just a short bit. But transfers, a lot of private transfers, and that's typically what your clients will experience throughout Asia. Someone will be there to pick them up at the airport, take them to the hotel, and of course, all of the tours, most of the tours are going to be private, really a high value. Accommodations, tours, sightseeing. We have a lot of specialty options as well as the typical city tours. We do car, however, we're not really doing any car in Asia. Rail, there are some opportunities in Asia to do rail, some small ship cruises, and we have some small escorted groups. Pre and post cruise packages, really big, and as well as shore excursions. Travel protection, add a TA fee. You can add up to 15% of your gross of the booking as a TA fee, and there's a whole lot more. You can always go to our website and learn a little bit more about us, or contact your sales representative, and they can help you out as well. Airlines, these are the major airlines that we're working with to get your clients to Asia. And we had a great conversation, Ellen and I, just a little bit ago as far as Air Canada is concerned. They're doing, she'll talk about some of the new things that are coming up for them. But all of these contracts that we offer, we can give you 10% commission on the base fare. And when you start looking at the business fares, that starts to get, it's a pretty good payout there. Something else to think about here as far as air to Asia is I've been continually impressed at the value. These are fantastic airlines, and it's what we're seeing, or what I've seen recently, probably in the last 3 or 4 months. Prices really haven't changed all that much. It's a very good deal. So while the flights are a little bit longer than you might experience, especially if you're on the East Coast going to Europe, they're still fantastic airlines that are really doing a good job of getting your clients from point A to point B. We do pre and post cruise, very important. As you can see here, as far as Taiwan is concerned, Taipei, but if you just do a quick scan of this list, you'll see that these are truly pre- and post-cruise destinations, as well as shore excursion destinations. Certainly not all of them are going to be the beginning or end ports for your clients who are on cruises. But just so you know, we do accommodations, pier to hotel transfer, pier to airport transfer, all of those things. And it's really good, especially when your clients spend a fair amount of time on these ships. Let them experience the destinations, and we can really provide some unique opportunities for them to get up and close and personal with the locals. Custom FIT services, and I think this is something that we always try to stress here, is that we can provide the private guides throughout Asia, and it's just picking up your clients, getting them around, and these folks are well trained, they're educated. In many countries, it's a requirement to even have like a what would be equivalent of a bachelor's degree to be a guide. So, and they're very passionate about their country and sharing, as well as meeting North American travelers. And so I think that the level of service is outstanding, and the personalization and the quality is second to none. We're getting a lot of rave reviews from your clients who are traveling, either sharing it with you and you sharing it with us, or them letting us know in a variety of ways, whether it be a survey that they filled out locally or something like that. We do also offer travel protection through TripMate, and the first 3 bullet points I think are very important. The travel protection that we provide is first-rate pre-existing condition coverage and cancel for any reason. Those are done as long as you pay 7 days. After the initial deposit, you pay the premium. So you can create a quote. The quote stays alive for 14 days, but say like around the 12th day, you make a deposit, $150 per person. You've got 7 days to purchase that insurance, and then the cancel for any reason kicks in, as well as a pre-existing condition. And the third most important point is that once the booking is fully paid, you have full commission protection. So very important, and always want to inspire people to visit our website, but also check out the award-winning Asia videos that we have. We've got some great destination videos. One of the things that we're going to do as a follow-up, Yalun and Taiwan Tourism have a couple of great videos we're going to send links to in the follow-up email. So with that, we're going to get into Taiwan, and I'm going to hand it over to Yalun, and she's going to tell you all they got going on. Yalun, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Welcome, everybody. My name is Yellen, and I am your presenter today on behalf of the Taiwan Tourism Bureau. We're very excited because, well, a lot has been going on for Taiwan, and last year we welcomed our 10 million tourists to Taiwan. For those of you who are not familiar with Taiwan Tourism Board, we do have 3 local offices here in the United States. There is one in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York. And for those of you who've never been to Taiwan, it is what we call the heart of Asia because, as you can see from the map here, we are in close proximity to Japan, Korea, China, Hong Kong, and within 3 hours of flight time to most of the Southeast Asia countries. From the North America, there are direct flights from Los Angeles. I believe there are 3 daily flights. New York, Seattle, Chicago, which just launched November last year. So it is a great route for those of you with clients in the Chicago area. Houston launched the year before, and of course in Canada there's Vancouver and Toronto. And these destinations are served with by 2 Taiwanese airlines, EVA Airways, as Jeff has mentioned before, and there's also China Airlines. And Air Canada is starting the Vancouver-Taipei route in June this year. So a lot of options, a lot of flight options for your clients. And also an additional note is that since we're in proximity with a lot of Southeast Asian countries, you can easily do a stopover and continue on to another Asian countries with either EVA Airways or China Airlines, and also there's a lot of regional airlines that are another options for your clients. And the size of Taiwan, I think it is really hard to see from the previous map, but just to give you an idea, Taiwan is really small. We're about the size of the Belgium, and you can see just as a point of reference that we're also probably a third to half the size of California, but we do have a huge population. This population is 23 million. We speak Mandarin and Taiwanese. These are the official language, and there's also an ethnic language, Hakka, that's spoken locally. English is widely spoken, especially among the students and also a lot of young professionals. And as you can see, Taiwan from the north to the south, it's about 400 kilometers, and with the high-speed railway, it takes only 1.5 hours to go to from Taipei all the way in the north to Kaohsiung all the way on the south. Now, why Taiwan? There are several reasons why we recommend Taiwan, but the first image is just to show you that Taiwan has become a manufacturing country to recently, in the past decades, into a more technology-oriented country. So you are probably familiar with ASUS, HTC, Giant Bicycles, and Transcend. These are all Taiwanese companies. And another reason why we highly recommend that you mention to your clients is that safety is becoming increasingly important factor for your client to decide where they want to go. Taiwan was ranked #2 amongst 996 countries in the world by the Global Peace Index. And we do have a very stable democracy, and our economy is also relatively stable. And a lot of the tourists that come to Taiwan feel very welcomed by locals. So that is one of the reasons we think it's a great country to visit. It's a great entry into Asia for your clients who've never been to Asia before. And also, this image pretty much is to show you that there are tourist information desks and offices located throughout Taiwan. Some of them are 24 hours, and there are a lot of support on the ground for your clients, let it be a group, or individual travelers. And as you can see here, everything pretty much is bilingual, and you can, from the road sign down to the menu, there's a lot of support in most of the times that people who don't speak the local language can still feel relatively easy to get around. Now this image might be intriguing. To the right you can see is Taipei 101. It is now, I believe, the world's second tallest building. Actually the fifth, I'm sorry, I think since it was built, it was once the world's tallest building. It's shaped in the bamboo because it's a sign of prosperity. And for your clients, they can go all the way up to the 96th floor, and also there's observation deck. It is a great place, and there's beautiful architectures. It's one of the must-sees for everybody that comes to Taiwan. And the image to the left is actually, you're right, it's whiskey. Now the brewery Kavalan, that's located just an hour or two outside of Taipei, has recently won a lot of international recognitions for their whiskey. And increasingly we have a lot of requests for people who want to visit our breweries and do whiskey tasting. So that might be another point of interest for your clients who will love to have some taste of the local beverage. Now for Taiwan, there are a lot of things to see. As you can see here, there are 6 different themes that we've been promoting in North America and internationally. There is the cycling, time for love, which means romance, time for nature, a lot of things to see outdoor, time to marvel, this is more focused on the culture, time to shop, like I indicated before, we have great computer products, technologies, and bicycles for the outdoor enthusiast. And lastly, and of course, time to eat. Taiwan is a great culinary destination. So time for the nature. Taroko Gorge is located east of on the east coast of Taiwan. It's been praised by National Geographic as the really the intricate Chinese landscape painting. It is a beautiful place for those who love outdoor or who just want to see the wonder of nature. Taroko Gorge is located where I'm from in Hualien, and this is the place where I visit every time I go home. In terms of ecotourism, 80% of the orchids are actually exported from Taiwan, so Taiwan is a big orchid country. And out of 9,000 bird species in the world, there are 450 of them are in Taiwan. So bird watching trip tours has been pretty popular lately in Taiwan. And it's actually relatively easy with the local DMCs to have this type of specialty package put together for your clients. And lastly, we are also the kingdom of butterflies. There are over 420 species of butterflies in Taiwan, and every year there are specific seasons for butterflies migrations, which is just beautiful to see. So if you have clients who are really keen on ecotourism, we will highly recommend one of these three pack tours for your clients. Now, time for cycling. Cycling in Taiwan is really the thing to do. As you can see, the picture to the left is what we call the U-bike. It's basically city bikes, and I think that's for a lot of you might not be familiar, but this is really easy to do. You just need to have a car registered at a kiosk, and then there are a lot of stations throughout Taipei where you or your clients can easily take a bike, and then once you're done with the bike, you can just deposit back to another station. And there is also bike routes throughout the island. There's total 940 kilometers around the island bike path, and there's a supply station at every 20 kilometers. So as you can see, usually the supply station is at the police station, the police stations in Taiwan is rather a place where people ask for a lot of help. If you're lost, highly recommend you go to a police station. If you need some water, need to refill, police station is really the place to go. And one of the top cycling routes that we recommend is, of course, the Sun Moon Lake, as you can see here on the picture. CNN Travel ranked it one of the world's top 10 most breathtaking cycling routes. It is really beautiful, and it's a cycling route that's adequate for both beginners or people who just were, people who are really into cycling, because beside the cycling route, there's also a lot of different routes around the lake. Now, time to marvel is about culture. We have in Taipei the National Palace Museum. It is one of the top 5 museums in the world, and it houses more than 650,000 artifacts. This is another must-see for people who visit Taiwan. And we like to call Taiwan the heart of Chinese culture. After the Chinese Revolution, a lot of, actually before the Chinese Cultural Revolution, a lot of Chinese cultures are actually very well preserved in Taiwan. In Taiwan, we still read and write traditional Chinese, whereas in mainland China, they all use simplified Chinese. In terms of temples, there are about 15,000 temples throughout this tiny island of Taiwan, and everywhere you go, it is really easy to walk into a temple, check out how the differences of all the different temples, as each temple has its unique identity. And we also have one of the largest temples in the world, as you will see on the right-hand side. Now, time to eat. Taiwan is a culinary paradise for people who are adventurous. You can see here that's a huge fried chicken steak, and then we have a lot of tropical fruits available all year round. And we also are famous for the oyster omelets that's on the bottom left. And we also have plenty of street foods, and we're just putting sausage in the sausage here for your reference. So in Taiwan, there's night market in every city, and pretty much night market is 7 days a week. Beside night markets, we also have fine dining restaurants where we serve exquisite Chinese cuisine and Taiwanese cuisine. So you'll never go hungry in Taiwan. And actually, a lot of times your clients might gain a few pounds, not too much because we tend to eat very healthy. And vegetarian options is widely available in Taiwan because of the Buddhism religion. It is very easy for your clients who are vegetarians or vegan to find alternatives in regular restaurants or specific vegetarian restaurants. Now, on this image, what you see on the left is what we're famous for, the boba tea. There is, I believe, we would like to say boba tea was invented in Taiwan, and there's tea houses throughout Taiwan that serve boba tea. And to the right, as you can see, is the famous Din Tai Fung dumpling. It is each dumplings has 18 folds, and their weight exactly the same. So every time we take guests to Taiwan, Din Tai Fung is one of the must-go restaurants as well. Now here you see is basically a calendar of festivals in Taiwan. We want to make sure that you and your clients know there's always something to see in Taiwan. There's always a festival in Taiwan no matter when you go. So starting from January all the way to December. So Cycling Festival is one of the biggest festivals in Taiwan and also in Asia. It happens in November, and we have about 400 cyclists around the world that will participate. And these are professional cyclists, of course. So for those who just want to cycle around during the Cycling Festival, there are also separate, individual cycling routes that will become available for everybody to participate. And what's coming up? Lantern Festival is actually coming out in February. This also is one of the largest lantern festival in Taiwan, and every year we expect over 9 million visitors around the world to participate. Now we like to also make sure that you know there's free half-day tour available for your clients who might be just doing a quick stopover in Taipei en route to another Asian destinations. The information is available on our website. All you need to do is type in free half-day tour. And we also offer free Wi-Fi throughout the island for international visitors. It's very easy to register. And most of the train stations, 7-Eleven supermarket, 7-Eleven super convenience stores. There's a lot of spots throughout Taiwan for visitors to connect to this free Wi-Fi. We also have what's called the Easy Card. It's basically originally started as a Metro card for the Taipei Metro station. Then now it's widely used throughout Taiwan in the different convenience stores, and a lot of stores take them. So if your clients don't want to be using a credit card a lot, what they can do is they can purchase the Easy Card, deposit some money, and then use that Easy Card throughout their trip. And we also have a lot of promotional gifts. If you want to order some brochures or promotional gifts, feel free to reach out to the Taiwan Tourism Office here in the United States. And again, they're in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York. So hopefully that was that gave you a glimpse of what we offer in Taiwan. You can find much more on our website at eng.taiwan.net.tw. And of course, if you have any more questions, please feel free to type it on the webinar control panel, and then we'll be more than happy to respond. Thank you, Jeff.
Great, thank you, Lon. That was wonderful. Lots of great information. As I noted before, we'll be sending out an follow-up. There we go. Yeah, I can speak English finally. And in that, we'll add some of the videos that we were going to show you. Just want to make sure that you guys get an opportunity to see that. And you can also check out our video as well. So I'll follow up with a link to our Taiwan video, which I think is fantastic. A wonderful picture of Taipei here. I should mention that, you mentioned EVA Air, and it makes a great stopover as well. So clients could go there as it's a standalone destination, or connect with Southeast Asia or other parts of China, and either Hong Kong or the mainland. You could clients can go up north, up into Japan. So there's a lot of opportunities here to treat it as a stopover or a pre and post cruise. There's a little bit more information as far as Taiwan is concerned. Didn't really go over that with Yulun's presentation. As you can see here, the weather is going to be similar to other parts of to other areas, where it's located as far as the north and south, but it's not that big, so you're not going to get a lot of differences as far as temperatures are concerned like you would in some of the other countries that we provide. But I think that it's very comfortable, and it's going to be warmer than it is, especially here in winter in Portland, Oregon. And as you can see, the flights aren't that dramatic. And that's, I think, probably why we see a little bit more longer stays in Asia, but it's not that significant. I was expecting it to be probably more in the 14, 15 range, but we still get a fair amount of people that are still in that 10 to 12 day range. So just something to think about here. These are the major areas that we're servicing in Taiwan. We talked about the size of Taiwan being very similar to Belgium, so it's really easy to get around, easy to get out to these places, and we can either typically what we'll do is it'll all be through private transfers. So oftentimes, and I'll talk a little bit about Taiwan essentials here in a bit, but as you can see, just connecting up these places, there are a lot of national parks, and that's really one of the things that I think is impressive to people, is the amount of nature in Taiwan is there's a lot of it. So it's both a very Taipei being a very modern city with a lot of history as well, but then getting your clients out into nature or the smaller towns is really fantastic. So a variety of different properties up here at the top. Just wanted to give you a taste, really, of what we can provide your clients. I think that you're gonna, as you can see here, they're good-sized rooms. Very modern. Some are more in the classical decor, and some are going to be more in modern decor. And there's going to always be a few with some unique themes because it is Taiwan. So just something to think about is you can either get on the website and click on these individual properties, or you can give us a call. And we really want to, all these are hand-picked hotels, and we want to make sure that we're really matching your client's needs to what we have as far as inventory is concerned. And then on the bottom here, you can see the some of the options that we can provide. And just once again, just a small taste going out to the national park and the hot springs, or one of the national parks. The Yifan Village is, I had that picture earlier. Beautiful little village, and there's lots of temples because it is, there's a fairly strong influence from China there. And you saw this one picture that I showed you earlier in the spread there, being able to tour. And at night, Taipei is a very modern city, and as you can see, that it lights up at night. So I think it's a cool opportunity for your clients who do want to have a little bit of fun. We recommend a minimum of 3 nights in Taipei because there is so much to do. We talked, Yulun talked a little bit as far as the food is concerned, and it is, you have there's native or ethnic cultures that are influences as far as food is concerned. It's there's Chinese, there's going to be some international fusion style. So there's a lot of great opportunity to have some great meals. And I also think that getting the food really is the easiest access to culture. And those of you who attended these webinars before, you always hear the same thing from me in that regard. But I talked a little bit as far as the nature is concerned. Not having beef noodle soup would be a shame, but going down the coastline, I think is an spectacular opportunity, and we'll talk a little bit more with regard to how we would do that. And this is Taiwan Essentials, and this really does highlight the main things that we would want to do for your clients who are, spending in this case, 7 nights. They certainly could spend, 3 or 4 nights in Taipei, plenty to do, take some, short excursions outside of Taipei, and then going down to Sun Moon Lake. This is a suggested itinerary. This is essentially the minimum of what we would say to really experience Taiwan. This is what you would want to include. And then, there's a monastery visit, and the Kenny National Park, and these different areas are just, easy access to these places. And we can do a couple of nights if you want. Just need to let us know. And then you saw the Taroko Gorge earlier from Yelen's presentation, and I think that it's a definite must-see. And then coming back to Taipei, and then flying out. And that's really the major things that we wanted to cover today. There's a couple of pretty good questions here, so I'll get to them in just a second. If you have any additional questions, like why would my clients want to go to Sun Moon Lake, or how do I get them around, or any variety of questions, feel free to just type them in. Also, you can go to our website at avantidestinations.com, get some good information with regard to Taipei and Taiwan. You can go into the product guides and then select the destination there, or you can just get into the vacation packages. I should note that you want to be in the Asia theme is what we call it. So we have Europe, Central and South America, and then Asia. If you click on that word Asia, it'll get you into all the information that we can provide, as well as a complete FIT booking engine. You can also reach us at request@avantidestinations.com. This is a way for you to get a quote, a brand new one, or if you have an active quote or an active booking. The difference being that it becomes a booking when you deposit $150 per person, and we can make changes, update it, or we can create a brand new one for you. There is an area on our website that kind of outlines what information we need in order to get the quote together. But we have a couple of different ways that we can service you in that regard. And then, of course, 800-422-5053. So I'm going to get to these questions now. And there's some wonderful questions here. I seem to, there, I got my glasses on now. We're good to go. So there's a good question from Judy, and as far as a family stays, I think it's important to think about most of the destinations in Asia, including Taiwan and Taipei, are really easy to do with regard to families. So it's something that we can connect. Whether it be through, if it's 4, 5, 6 people, just something to think about, that, we really, our small groups are what we consider 10 to 16. And then also, anything below that is, is going to be, it's all basically going to be FIT, but 10 to 16 is a small group. So if you have a larger family or a couple of families that want to travel together, we certainly can do that.
Sorry, Jeff, this is Yelen. Can I just add in something?
Of course.
So for this question, I just recently became a mom, so I feel very, I feel like adding a few information, because when I went back to Taiwan with my baby who just turned 1, I was very surprised at the amount of resource there are for mothers. There is nursery room and also baby changing rooms pretty much all throughout Taiwan, in stores and train stations. it was just amazingly easy for us to nurse baby and also to change babies, and also in most of the restaurants, and I think it's here in the U.S. as well. There's always baby utensils that are available, and also high chairs. And in general, people are just very, very friendly towards children. In terms of older children, like families, most of the hotels have a lot of family rooms, and one of the factors being that the birth rate in Taiwan has decreased in the past few years. So now people love children, and families travel a lot together in Taiwan. So if you have clients who are families or multi-generations with their grandparents, Taiwan is really easy for you to arrange that type of travel. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Good to know. Good to know that personal experience there. Sounds like everything went out really well. Having some technical issues as far as his questions are concerned, so it keeps on. Um, uh, Yalun, can you just not touch the mouse, and I'll be able to get to the rest of these questions here. So hold on a second. I apologize for the challenge here. So the seasonality of, of Taiwan, could you talk a little bit about that, Yellen?
Sure. In general, Taiwan being a tropical country, summer is very humid and hot. So I would say if you do have clients who want to go in the summer, it is fair to warn them that it will be very humid. However, um, there is air conditioning everywhere you go, so it's not too difficult. There is also typhoon or hurricane season, what we call typhoon locally. That, I believe, the season sometimes starts in June throughout September. So it is definitely something that you want to look into with the travel protections, as it does happen quite often. However, we have experienced a lot of typhoons throughout the history, so our buildings are very strong, and we have very good protection systems when it comes to typhoon season. So the airlines are very good with updating the passengers with flight cancellations, and also locally in Taiwan, most of the major transportation will continue to run. But it is a point of, it is a point to keep in mind when you organize trips during the summertime. But rest assured, we have had clients who went to Taiwan during the typhoon season. They actually enjoyed it a little bit because it wasn't too dangerous, but it was something to see. They can see how Taiwanese prepare for the typhoon, and they thought that was something that was just very interesting to see. Outside of summer, I think spring and fall after September, October would be the best time. That the season would be is the weather is moderate, not too hot, not too cold. For winter time, the temperature in winter time in Taiwan would be probably like the temperature in Los Angeles right now, which is about 50 to 60 Fahrenheit. So great time to visit Taiwan. I think for North Americans who want to escape the cold weather in the winter, that would be one of the best time to visit. And of course, there's Chinese New Year, so it's a lot of festivities and Lantern Festival.
And Lantern Festival, isn't Lantern Festival happening here pretty soon?
Yes, the Lantern Festival is actually happening in the week. So basically,
Yeah.
the festival happens the 15 days after the Chinese New Year, and suppose most of you know, the Chinese New Year was Friday last week.
There's a couple of interesting questions here with regard to the orchid growers, and is that going to be all is there any inside the city, or is it all, how far away does one have to go from Taipei to go visit the orchid?
The orchid wars are pretty much throughout the island, but most of them are located on the west coast of Taiwan. I'm sure there are some in Taipei as well, but I would suggest that if it's someone who is really serious about visiting orchid farms, they might have to travel a little bit outside of Taipei. But once again,
Yeah.
Taiwan being such a small country, it's easy to hop on the train to go to the center of Taiwan in less than 2 hours, or go all the way down south in less than 2 hours as well. And from there, it's always easy to hop on a taxi or go with a tour guide to visit these farms. So transportation-wise, very, very easy, and it wouldn't take, it shouldn't take more than 3 hours to get to a destination you would like to go outside of Taipei.
Yeah, and we do have an orchid option that's part of the, it'll be part of a tour in that Taiwan Essentials, and so there's a couple of different ways that we could go about it. Either something that we, currently are offering, or if you do have clients who are, particularly interested in the orchid, production and plantation, if you will. It's probably a little bit too much to call it a plantation, but a farm. That's something that we certainly could provide on a special request basis. And there's a couple of questions here with regard to, is there visa requirements to Taiwan? And so, I'm not sure what the maximum stay is, but is it like 30 or is it 90 days?
It's
for
90 days.
citizens? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's for U.S. and Canadian passport holder, it's 90 days, and you don't need to pre-register. You just arrive in Taiwan, and
no
you get
visa required.
Exactly.
You just get on the plane and go, as long as you got a passport that's 6 months, valid for 6 months. Very important to know or remember or to remind your clients. We've had that experience a couple of times. And so, I think that's all the questions I think I've pretty much covered. Was there anything that you wanted to, follow up with or finish off with, Yellen?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for your time here today, and I know there's so much more about Taiwan that we can go on for hours. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact the Taiwan Tourism Bureau, or of course the team at Avanti Destinations will be more than happy to provide gifts, brochures for your clients, anything that will help you to promote Taiwan. We're here for you.
Yeah, and I think that's something to think about is, if you have, clients, and this is true for most tourism offices or bureaus, depending on where they're at, but, you can contact them for, they do have a plethora of both digital and print information with regard to the destination. So, and I'm not sure if you guys have a specialist program, but the website link that we saw earlier, and I'll include that in the email, is a great resource for destination information, and just kind of getting more familiar with Taiwan. So this is kind of like Taiwan 101, and you can really just start to really understand the destination and then learn more about it, either via their website or even our website. There's lots of information there too. So just something to think about as you're getting your clients ready to go to Taiwan. And if you had any additional questions, I think we've covered everything. And there's a couple that I'm going to reach out to individually. This will be recorded, so we'll certainly have the recorded webinar going out with the follow-up. And with that, thank you all for attending. It was really a great opportunity. Hopefully you got some good information, and we'll see you in Taiwan. Thanks a lot. Take care, y'all.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.